long-waited 2 years and a bunch of up and downs with miscommunication, we finally have a release date for XDefiant, May 21st. We know of everything coming within the preseason and throughout the rest of the calendar year, so let's take a deep dive into what's in store for XDefiant within the upcoming year. So let's take a quick look over here at our preseason content that we're going to get. So we're going to have 5 factions within the game, 4 of them, which is going to be Cleaners, Libertad, Echelon, and Phantoms, with an unlockable one later down in preseason, which is going to be Dead Set. And we're going to have 5 modes. We're going to have 3 of them being Arena and 2 of them being Progression, 14 maps for 10 of them being Arena and 4 Progression. And we're going to have 24 weapons at launch with 44 attachments across them as well. And a note too, this is only available on Xbox Series S and X, PS5, and PC. So if you guys already have the game installed, you're going to get an update on May 21st when this game launches to be able to update and give you full access to the game. Now, starting out, here are some of the maps that are going to be available at launch. So we're going to have Arena, Attica Heights, Dumbo, Echelon, Emporium, Liberty, Mayday, Meltdown, Midway, Noodleplex, Playboto, Showtime, Times Square, and Zoo. Now, some of these maps are going to be remade or brought over from other Ubisoft games, such as Far Cry, so it's going to be cool to see some of those games into a modern FPS shooter. And for the modes, we're going to have Domination, Hotshot, Occupy, Escort, and Zone Control. Now, if we take a look at some of the weapons that we're going to be getting over at launch, for our assault rifles, we're going to have the M16A4, the M4A1, AK-47, and the ACR 6.8. For the SMGs, the Vector 45, the P90, the MP7, and the MP5. For shotguns, the double barrel shotgun, the AA-12, which the AA-12 is a classic full auto shotgun. It's toxic, but it was actually fun to use sometimes in the OG MW2, and the M870, the RPK-74, the M60, and the M249 SAW. Marksman rifles, SVD, and the MK20, and the sniper rifles, a TAC-50, which is your bolt-action sniper rifle, and your M44, which is your semi-auto sniper rifle. And for the pistols, we're going to have the 6.86 Magnum, the M1911, the D50, the 93 Raffica, and your M9. Now let's take a deep dive into the factions of XDefiant. We're going to be having 4 factions at launch, and the 5th one unknown when to release, but it hopeful to be preseason, if not season 1. So starting out here, we're going to have Libertad. Libertad is pretty much a support faction. If you want to help your team at any cost in terms of healing or boost, this is your go-to faction to be able to use. And a couple of the faction abilities is the Medicato Supremo. This one will provide a backpack for healing and boost for yourself for a limited time. And the other one, passive, is Espiritu de Libertad. The contagious spirit of freedom slowly heals you and nearby allies. Our next faction we're going to be taking a look at is Phantoms. This is pretty much your heavy support. If you think about it as tank in terms of like Overwatch or even games such as Tom Clancy Ghost Recon, this is pretty much what that refers to. And pretty much you're going to be able to run around with riot shields and barriers and help put support barriers up for you and your team. And a couple of the abilities in this one is Aegis, a spherical plasma shield combined with an electro scatter gun for close quarters combat, and a passive ability such as Harden. It'll health increase as a result of tailored gene therapies. Another faction in here is Echelon. Echelon is pretty much your assassin ninja type style gameplay. If you want to get close quarters combat, flank enemy routes, and be able to stay off of any sort of map awareness from the enemy team, this is the exact faction for you. A couple of the abilities is sonar goggles. This will reveal enemies highlighted in red, and you'll also be able to run around with a pistol. And another ability is called the intel suit, and it'll share the location of nearby enemies with your team. Last but not least, we have our Cleaners faction. So this is a very high-hitting damage faction. If you want to be able to get a lot of kills and also play a little bit slower but get a lot more going with it, this is going to be the faction for you. You can do things such as use a flamethrower, and it's called the Purifier. We can have an incinerator drone, which is a napalm delivering drone, burns everything in its path. We're going to have a firebomb, detonate a Molotov cocktail, causing explosive damage, igniting the area, and we're also going to be able to have incendiary rounds, which will pretty much be burning ammo every single time you shoot it. Now, we don't know when this faction is going to be released, but this is a Watch Dogs 2 inspired faction called Dead Sect, and it has abilities such as Hijack. So pretty much if someone has a Claymore or a Bouncing Betty, you're able to hack it and make it your own, so if they run through it, they'll die. and another one called Spider Bot, which this pretty much is deploy a spider bot that will target and stun the nearest via enemies. So it's like a little robot. If it sees an enemy, it'll go out and try to distract it and also use stuns to try to be able to throw it off so you can get the easy kill. Now, one thing to note, there is going to be a ranked mode coming in XDefiant 4v4, but it is unknown whether it is coming within the preseason of XDefiant or within the launch of Season 1, and hopefully we'll be able to hear some more information on that. As soon as I do, I will be sure to be able to keep you guys updated. Now with the launch content out of the way, here is the year 1 roadmap for XDefiant. Granted, this isn't that much information, but at least we know what to expect for every single season up and coming. For example, we're going to have a faction every single season, which they're codenamed Ruby, Buzz, Orchard, and Horde. Every single season, we're also going to have 3 new weapons on top of 3 new maps. It should be 1 weapon, 1 map every single month, and a 90 tier battle pass to top that all off. We're going to have modes such as new arena and progression modes. Ranked mode and private matches are coming. We just don't know when exactly, but if you want to have fun even in private matches with your buddies, definitely feel free to do so. And they're going to keep ongoing work to keep the competition fair. For you guys don't know, XDefiant does not have any skill-based matchmaking. It's strictly off of ping, so if you guys want to come home and instead of sweating it out, enjoy an FPS shooter like the good old times, definitely do so with XDefiant. And there's going to be a welcome list for beginners and also practice zone. So if you want to up your game up, definitely feel free to do it over in XDefiant. Now, if you guys made it this far in the video, do you guys think XDefiant will be a flop? Or do you think that this will be a good FPS shooter game? It's free to play. The old head director from the Call of Duty games is actually doing this one. And I have a lot of faith in him as he's done a lot with the Call of Duties in the past. I'm sure he'll bring XDefiant from a bottom game to the very top, just based off of his knowledge and also what we have in front of us right here. I know XDefiant was delayed a couple of times, but now that we have a set date in stone, it's something we can look forward to. But with that being said, if you guys like what you saw in today's video, definitely smash that like button, as this will push XDefiant's release out to as much people as possible. And also, if you want, hit that subscribe button. I'm going to be doing a lot more XDefiant content, whether it's map knowledge, tips and tricks to improve in XDefiant, and also rank tips and also best loads to be able to use over on XDefiant. But that's going to do it for me. It's been Scott ID. Stay blessed. Stay positive. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.